Welcome back. If this is your first time here on this channel and you experience any kind of issues with playback, please check out the link in the description to my mirrored account on BitChute.com, redpill_McKenzie. Now, in today's video, we're picking up where we left off. We're now in week 1 of July 2018 with the high-level resignations. Talking CEOs, CFOs, COOs, heads of state, police chiefs, you name it. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's a new week until we basically catch up. But real quick, where do I get the names from? I get it from a site called Resignation.info, maintained by Resignation Anon. And despite the meme I just showed you, there are actually a lot of good people on this list. Not everyone on this list is a bad person, even though there are quite a few and there are some really bad ones, but not everyone's going to be indicted despite that. Go ahead and check out the link to the indictments on the site if you haven't done it already. There's also a little feature where you can report resignations. Anything that's not on the list since September 2017, or if it's brand new, which is the easy one, so admit it, that's probably what you're going to do, which is fine, that's cool. Go ahead and add it. Submit it. Once it's been verified, it'll be added to the list. But here's the kicker. If it's new and it's notable, chances are you're going to hear about it in the next resignation show. It's every other Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. German time, with the next show being on March 3rd. It's hosted on a channel called In Real Life News, which I'll put their link to the channel in the description so you can link up with them and catch the next resignation show. Or if you want to, because you're already here, if you're on resignation.info, go to the resignation show tab, look up there, catch up on all the episodes, or hit In Real Life News link right next to it, and you'll be able to sub to them that way. But anyway, now that all of that has been taken care of, let's get to the names. We have the CEO to Dreamworld in Australia, Craig Davidson. Resigned amid damning evidence at an inquest in the 2016 ride disaster. That was when 4 people died, and it was the malfunction of the Thunder River Rapids ride. We have the chairwoman to Kaidi Ecological in China. We have a board member to the South African Broadcasting Corporation, also known as SABC in South Africa. We have a host to BBC on Radio 4 in the UK, Eddie Mayer, who resigned amid gender pay row. We have a member to the Peturi UMNO party in Malaysia. She was an ex-party chief and she was upset with the party polls, so she decided to serve as an independent representative. We have director to Sobras in Chile, Nicholas Lopez. He resigned after sexual misconduct allegations. We have a director to 100 State in the U.S., Gregory St. Fort. St. Fort said he plans to travel and said he will work on a business he started several years ago called Let's Keep Building. We have a leader to the National Democratic Congress in Grenada, Nazim Burke. We have the Justice Minister to the Western Wall Committee in Israel, Eliet Shaked. We have the Director to the National Cinemedia Inc. in the U.S., Paula Williams Madison. We have a Chief to Rincon Police Department in Georgia, Philip Scholl. We have the Chief to the Fort Walton Beach Police Department in Florida, Edward Ryan. He chose to step down rather than accept being placed on administrative leave whilst an inquiry was conducted into 12 complaints lodged against him and Captain Tracy Hart. We have the Chief to Gloucestershire Fire and Rescue Service in the UK, Stuart Edgar. An investigation because he made a poor judgment in relation to the disposal of a fire service vehicle caused his resignation. We have an investigative correspondent to ABC News in the U.S., Brian Ross. Months after he was suspended for an erroneous report on President Trump's former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, he resigned. We have an investigative reporter from ABC News in the U.S., Rhonda Schwartz. We have president to Ford in Australia, Graeme Wickman. We have the senior VP to Tesla Inc. in the U.S., Doug Field. We have the sheriff's deputy to Fort Bend County in Texas, Jeffrey Bell, resigned after sexual assault allegations. We have a director to the Kids in Need Foundation in the U.S. We have the CFO to TRC Synergy BHD in Malaysia, retired. We have the chairman to SHIS Limited in Singapore. We have the CEO and chairman and the COO to Mimidex Group in the U.S. The company was currently under scrutiny by several federal agencies that may be currently going on, including in the Department of Justice, the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC, and the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA. We have the director to the Ajinomoto in Malaysia. We have the CFO to WZ Satu BHD in Malaysia. We have the CFO to Kuala Lumpur Kepong in Malaysia. We have the wing commander to Shepherd Air Force Base in the U.S., Andrea Themley. Colonel Themley became the first female commander of the 80th Flying Training Wing in 2017. We have the chairman to the China Jialing Industrial Co. Limited in China, resigned due to health reasons. We have the CEO to Eve Sleep in the UK. We have the CEO to the Green Organic Dutchman in Canada, Robert Anderson, resigned amid health reasons. We have the president to the Supreme Court in Poland, Malgorzata Gerdsdorf, ousted after a controversial new law that came into effect at midnight that Tuesday, forcing her and up to 26 colleagues from the bench. I do not know the final count. The law reduces the retirement age from 70 to 65 years. 27 judges have been forced to leave. We have the Vicar General to the Roman Catholic Church in Tennessee, Clement Machado. He is the second highest ranking official in the Catholic Diocese of Memphis. We have the director to Tropicana Corporation in Malaysia. We have the president to St. Alphonsus Regional Medical Center in Idaho. She went off to be a partner at 21st Century Oncology. We have a lawyer to the U.S. Justice Department in the U.S., Scott Schools. He's a top aide to the Deputy Attorney General, and there was a Q post reporting over this actual individual. We have the COO from Google Cloud Platform in the U.S., Diane Bryant, resigned after only working there for 7 months. We have a manager to the Vermilion Regional Airport in the U.S., Mike Potter. We have the chairman to Steyr Motors Corp in China, resigned due to health reasons. We have the supervisor of shareholders to ZTE Corp in China. We have the chairman to the TH Heavy Engineering BHD in Malaysia. We have the CEO to Damansara Realty in Malaysia. We have a director to Xinming China Holdings Limited in China. We have this sheriff to Utah County in Utah, Jim Tracy, resigned because of neglect of funding issues at the Utah County Sheriff's Office. We have the CEO and president to Adventure Children's Museum in Columbia in South Carolina, Karen Coltrane. She went off to be CEO at Leadership Center for Excellence in Arlington, Virginia. We have a director to Pretrial Enforcement Division in the U.S., Jerry Fox. She's working on her PhD and needs to write her dissertation. We have the interim CEO to Patari in Pakistan. We have the marketing director to Patari in Pakistan. And also all of these members to the same company. Go ahead and pause if you need to read their names. We have the governor to the Central Bank in Liberia, J. Milton Weeks. After resisting pressure from the pinnacle of authority for his refusal to allow the use of Liberia's consolidated accounts as a collateral for the U.S. 536 loan deal with Etcon. I didn't say if it's million or thousand. I'm going to have to look that up. Go ahead and put that in the comments if you know that off the top of your head, or if you're just looking yourself. Sorry about that. Anyway, we have the CEO and president to Delta Dental in the U.S., Bernard Glossy, retired. He is also the CEO and president of Delta Dental of Illinois Foundation, and the CEO and president of Delta Dental of Illinois, retired from all three. We have the CEO and president to the Michigan Science Center in the U.S., Tanya Matthews. Center said she departs to pursue the other STEM opportunities. So we have the CEO to the International Cricket Council in the United Arab Emirates, David Richardson, retired. We have the CEO to Barnes & Noble in the U.S., Demos Parneros, fired for violating the company's policies. We have the president to the School District of Beloit Board of Education in the U.S., Lori Andres, fired from other members voting her out due to allegations about her conduct. We have the VP to the School District of Beloit Board of Education in the U.S., Chris Klobuchar. We have the treasurer to the school district, same one, Shelley Cronin. We have the member of the Executive Council to the Sports, Arts, and Culture Ministry in South Africa. Malloy resigned after the African National Congress, also known as the ANC, in Limpopo slammed her for Facebook posts where she criticized people she called Masana bishops. We have the CEO and president to Windsor Essex Regional Chamber of Commerce in Canada, Matt Marchand. We have the chairman to the Windsor Essex Regional Chamber of Commerce in Canada as well, John Clark. And we have a partner to Seed Invest to the U.S., Dave McClure. We also have the chief lending officer to BCB Bancorp Inc. in the U.S. We have the CEO to Specialty Fashion Group in Australia. We have a chairman to HNA Group in China. He died by falling 10 to 15 meters after climbing on a wall for a photo. He was also one of the founders of HNA. We have Asia Pacific Equities head to Deutsche Bank in Germany, James Boyle. Resigned to leave and pursue other opportunities. He's at least the third managing director in Asia to quit the company that week. That's after James Thompson, who is based in Hong Kong, and Jakarta-based Kunardi Lai both left, according to people with knowledge of the matter. We have the chairman to Yunnan Aluminum in China, resigned due to a change in his job role. We have a director to the UN's Green Climate Fund in South Korea, Howard Bamsey, after a difficult meeting in which no new projects were approved, according to a statement released after the gathering in Songdo, South Korea. We have the CEO to ITN in the UK, John Hardy, resigned to pursue some long-held ambitions. We have general manager to Rothschild Technology in China, resigned due to health reasons. We have the chief diversity officer to Cornell SC Johnson College of Business in the U.S., David Wooten, resigned because of a combination of personal and professional reasons. We have the CFO to Xinglong Splendicor International Limited in China. We have the CEO to Downtown Biz in Canada, Stefano Grand. He went off to be the CEO at Children's Hospital Foundation. We have the CFO to Compass Group in the UK. We have the CEO and chairman to BH Media Group in the U.S., Terry Kroger. We have a public defender from the Department of Public Defense in the U.S., Lorinda Youngcourt. She resigned due to receiving negative feedback about her management style. We have a co-founder and pastor to the Evergreen Church in Minnesota, Mark Darling. An independent investigation concluded he was involved in inappropriate conduct with female members. We have the chief to Halifax Regional Police in Canada, Jean-Michel Blaise. We have the VP to Sharps Compliance Corp in the U.S., retired. We have the entire government from the Ivory Coast government in the Ivory Coast. The whole government itself just dissolved. We have the CEO. I'm sure they're rebuilding. We have the CEO from Waterfront Toronto in Canada, Will Flessig. We have the CEO and chairman to Success Dragon International Holdings Limited in China, resigned because he would like to focus his time and efforts on other businesses. We have the head to the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA in the U.S., Scott Pruitt. We have the CEO to ThyssenKrupp AG in Germany. We have the CEO to Fulton County Hospital in Arkansas, retired. We have the CEO and president to Arnott Health in New York, retired. We have the CEO to Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union in California, Mark Herter, retired. We have the CEO to Centrica in the UK. He was retired and was replaced by Richard Hookway. We have the CEO to TiVo in the US, Enrique Rodriguez. He resigned to go off to be the CTO at Liberty Global. We have General Counsel to Wynn Resorts Limited in the US, Kim Sinatra. As regulators continued to investigate the company's handling of sexual harassment claims, she resigned. We have the Indonesia head and the CEO to Wilmar International in Singapore. Greenpeace report linked them to an Indonesian firm accused of deforestation. We have the CEO to CMC Networks in the U.S., Martin Springer. We have the CEO to Jefferies Group LLC in the U.S., Michael Alexander, went off to work for EOS. We have the VP to Sierra Nevada Corporation in the U.S., Mark Cerangelo. We have the Labor Minister to the Brazil government in Brazil, of course, Helton Yamura, resigned after being suspended by the Supreme Court over a corruption investigation. We have a director to the Arizona Corporation Commission in the U.S., Ted Vogt, resigned after 4 election commissioners raised questions about his wife's work with Arizona Public Service Company. We have the CEO and president to WCNY in the U.S., Robert Dano, resigned to pursue other opportunities. We have a director from Sangamon County Office of Emergency Management in Illinois, David Butt, retired. We have the Minister of Child Affairs from the Sri Lankan government, VM. We have all of these executives, pause if you need to, because all of them were fired from ZTE Corp in China. We have the chief to New Holland Police Department in Pennsylvania, William Jason Lawless. We have a chief to the Brush Police Department in Colorado, Travis Anderson. We have the chief to the Metro Vancouver Transit Police in Canada, Doug Leopard, retired. We have a director to Cloudera Inc. in the U.S. We have a director to Galactin Therapeutics Inc. in the U.S., Galactin. We have the senior VP to Premier Inc. in the U.S. We have a moderator from RT America in the U.S., Ed Schultz. He died. We have these 2 VPs from WestJet Group in the U.S. They both retired. We have the CFO to Stobart Group in the U.K. We have this chairman to Shanghai Haxin Group Co. Limited in China. We have the dean to Michigan State University in the U.S., William Strample. He retired. He was one of Larry Nassar's former bosses, who was Larry Nassar harassed, discriminate, demean, sexual proposition, and sexually assault female students. All the above with that guy. Anyway, we have the chief to the Kittery Police Department in Maine, James Saucy. And not to confuse the last one, that was all specified for Larry Nassar, but that's why he left, because of me. Okay, anyway, just want to make that clear in case there was any confusion there. But anyway, the chief to Kittery Police Department in Maine, James Saucy, needs to leave for personal family reasons. That's why he resigned. With the CEO to Foreo in Sweden, Paul Peros, he stepped down to pursue new projects in the technology sector. With the CEO and director to Niden in the U.S. With the CEO to United Farmer Veterans of Maine in the U.S., Jerry Ireland. Authorities say that Ireland, a Swanville farmer, killed a dozen malnourished pigs and buried them before state agents could inspect them. With the CEO to Consumer Council in Fiji, Pramila Kumar. We have a director to Convoy Global in China. We have the CEO to Meadows Foundation in the U.S. She retired. We have a member to Parliament to Australia, Jenny Macklin, retired. We have a director to the Metropolitan Planning Commission in Louisiana, Mark Sweeney. Law enforcement opened a criminal investigation of possible payroll fraud, so he resigned. We have a deputy director to Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in the U.S., Leandra English. English said in a statement that she made the decision in light of President Trump's nomination the prior month of Kathy Kraninger to be the CFPB's permanent director. We have a member to the Board of Selectmen in the U.S., Anthony Frassinelli. A little more than a week after being charged with computer crimes and accused of destroying town records, Frassinelli had resigned from his position on the Board of Selectmen. We have the chairman to British basketball in the UK, Ed Warner, resigned following the day before's preemptory unconstitutional actions by the HCA chairs. And we have all of these directors, pause if you need to, from the same place, British basketball, for the same reasons. We have this judge from Broward County Circuit Court in Florida. I don't think this is the first judge. This may be the third or fourth by now. John Patrick Contini. With the CEO and president from Home Hardware Stores, Sheesh, Limited in the U.S., Terry Davis, retired. We have the board member to Banca Carriage in Italy. We have a board member to Deere & Co. in the U.S. He resigned after the company became aware that he had a romantic relationship with a coworker, a violation of Intel's non-fraternization policy. We have the chief to the Maine Police Department in the U.S., Michael Schotschuk. We have the director to Alcentra Capital Corporation in the U.S. We have the president to the Business Council of Alabama in the U.S., Billy Canary. In the wake of a wave of a number of high-profile departures from the once powerful organization, he resigned and then went off to be a senior fellow at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And we have a ZPTC member from TRS in India, Manda Sanjeeva Reddy, because Bodupal municipality on the outskirts of the city is not taking action against illegally constructed buildings. So that's the last name. That's it for this week. Remember, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, don't forget to subscribe to In Real Life News to catch the next Resignation show. And of course, if you like my content, go ahead, share, because sharing's caring. And if you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so YouTube has no choice of what kind of content of mine that you get to see. I hope you enjoyed it. I love all of you. God bless all of you. This is Red Pill McKenzie.